Hi, people. We're sitting here with Karen from Tri-State Squatchers. And Karen, can you
Hi.
tell? Hi, can you tell us? Um, do you believe in Sasquatch?
Yes.
Do you know that Sasquatch exists?
Yes, I do.
Why is that?
Because I've seen one.
Seen one?
I'm no, I've seen more than one.
About how many times have you seen a Sasquatch?
I'm thinking that there's probably three or four at least. That
So
I
you've seen 3 or 4 different Sasquatch?
yes, in the same area.
Wow. That sounds exciting. Is there any of those encounters that sticks out in your mind the most?
Um, yeah, I would say it would have to be the night with the old gray.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good night.
What makes that one stand? I mean, I would think that um, they would all be totally exciting. What makes the old gray, the night with the old gray, stand out the most?
Because it was almost in close enough reach to grab me.
Whoa. Um, wh- could you tell us about that?
Sure. So we were on our way out of the park and heard a bunch of noises and turned around and looked and saw eye shine and but didn't notice that something was standing like not too far from me. And we had decided to leave and kind of walk out, and I was scanning my back like I always do. I scan behind me because I feel like I'm being watched. So what I
So,
did was
can I
turned.
can I ask you something?
Yeah.
If you're seeing the eye shine, why did you decide to leave?
Well, we were kind of on our way out.
Okay.
So it was me just checking my back.
Oh, at this, so the end of this.
Yep,
Uh,
we were all done
okay.
and we were on our way out. And I just kind of swung around to check my back and saw what I wasn't sure at first. And then I got a glimpse of something close and it was moving and it stood still right in its tracks. And now it is what I believe to be the old gray. I would say less than 5 seconds into it, my flashlight went out.
How close was it to you?
I would say between 10 and 12 feet away.
Whoa. Um, so you got a good uh, sighting of it. You saw it up close and personal, basically.
Very close. And I could see the color and parts of the body, but it was very, very quickly because my flashlight died. And it was in a stance like it was going to walk. But I wasn't sure if it was either going to walk or it was going to grab me. So at that point, I turned to you, and you had thought that I was right behind you. And I screamed, "Run!" And you started running, and I did not follow because I started to move the squatch in front of me moved with me. So I was backing up and it was inching forward.
Oh, wow.
So I was not sure if it was going to turn and run away or if it was going to come forward and attack me. And I froze. I couldn't move. There wasn't anything I could do. I stood there, flashlight gone, total dark, and by myself. So I called for you, I think,
Yep, I heard you call.
and you came back and you said you had to grab me. Well, at first, I didn't know if it was you grabbing me or if it was a Squatch grabbing me. So I was still froze, pretty much.
I had a Yankee pretty hard.
And then we ran across the bridge part and took off and headed to our vehicle. So I do want to say though, the color, the size, the shape, everything was totally different than what I ever thought it would be.
How's that?
Because it looked old. It looked like it very aged. I saw a wrinkle on the brow line, on the forehead. In just a minute, Jessa. And the gray hair around the face, and there was gray in the chest area, and then you could see the hair was a lot longer than what I expected or anticipated. Not as big as what I thought. Kind of like when people age, it seems like they shrink. Well, it seems like this was kind of hunched over a little bit. I guess I'm comparing it to maybe pictures or other things I've seen on other people's sites of what, everybody says a Sasquatch looks like. And like I said, it wasn't what I expected. It had a really bad odor. When I was standing so close to it, I could tell the smell right then and there. It smelled like an animal had been in the water and had dried off and kind of rolled around in the dirt and grass and stuff like that. So it just smelled pretty ripe. The head was a different shape than what I anticipated. It was more up and rounded on the sides, but not cone shaped like some of them show. So it was kind of it was quite different than what I expected, and I was very, very scared. And then I think after the fear wore off, it was more of the excitement that kicked in and the adrenaline rush and everything. And actually once the adrenaline wore off and that, I think I was I remembered bits and pieces every day. Like at first I couldn't remember a whole lot. Then a day or two would go by and I'd remember, like I would say something to Chris about, well, I saw the wrinkle on the forehead. or the color of the hair. Something to that order. But anyway, it was quite the adventure, and we'll definitely keep doing this. My first adventure out will be the next thing I tell you.
Okay.
And seriously, everybody is going to laugh so hard when you find out what type of person I was when I first went out squatching.
Yes, that was humorous. One last question,
Sure.
because people discuss this all the time and argue about it. And if you were to say the old gray looked more human or more animal, which would you say? Obviously, it's a Sasquatch, so Sasquatch is a Sasquatch. But if you were to
It
Yeah.
looked more human.
more human,
Yep.
excellent. Well, thank you, Karen,
Sure.
and everybody watching. Happy squatching.
Happy squatching.